Okay, you can start. Yeah.
This is, we're trying to introduce you to the Jaipur limb technology, and most people perceive the Jaipur limb technology to be a low-cost prosthetic technology. But it's not merely about low cost, because you see, we are designing for a population which is a very demanding population. So the functional demands that these amputees put on these limbs are extreme. Most of our amputees are young men with no comorbidity, mostly post-traumatic, and living in rural areas, uneducated, carrying out manual labor. So you see, the demands are so extreme that if the technology is not functioning well, the patients are unlikely to use it. So what we focus on when we decide on any technology is that it should be appropriate for our people. And by appropriate, I mean that India is a hot country. So a lot of people here would not like to wear footwear during summers. Within the house, a lot of us don't wear footwear. When we visit temples, we don't wear footwear. So in terms of the prosthetic foot, the foot is designed to permit walking barefoot, and also giving patients an option of wearing shoes. So earlier it was mostly barefoot walking, but now people switch from being barefoot to wearing shoes. So it's no more a barefoot technology, because you can wear shoes with the Jaipur foot. The other thing is that most of our population still is a floor-sitting culture. It's not a chair-sitting culture like the West. And even we as non-amputees would realize that when we are sitting on a chair, the mobility required at the joints is much less as compared to when we are trying to sit on the floor. So all our prosthetic components require that extra mobility to permit our patients to be able to sit on the floor, squat. And this is something which is desirable for any population, because if there is mobility in the prosthetic components, it's going to take up a lot of ground reaction forces which would otherwise be transmitted to the stump socket interface. So it's good to have distal components which absorb the shock. The other thing that is very important for us is the fact that the kind of numbers that come to us are so large that we need a technology which can provide us with a rapid turnover. So when a patient walks into the Jaipur Foot Clinic, it takes them about 4 hours to be fitted with the limb, and you've seen yourself that patients are coming crawling here and they are going back in the evening on their own 2 feet. So we need a rapid turnover technology, because not just for India, but globally, if you look at the amputee situation, the amputee population is rising alarmingly because of conflicts, wars, landmines. And this is going to continue long after these conflicts end, because there are about 100 million landmines which still remain to be triggered. So you're going to have a very large population. So it makes sense to have a technology globally which fits patients quickly. One major modification that we made in the technology is that we work on wet molds. We use pipes instead of sheets, so you don't have seams. And although in some cases we are using open-ended sockets, but in most transtibials we are using total contact sockets. So we are trying to follow the technology developments that are taking place in the Western world and which are applicable to patients in the Indian context. So that is one thing.